Well, ata Marie, tēnā koutou katoa. Good morning, everybody, non-boys, non-girls, non-binary, kinksters, doggos, and everybody in between. My name's Misdemeanor, and my pronouns are get in. And I'm here with a very special class for you today, non-boys and non-girls. It's going to take all day. And this is an update from the Relationship and Sexuality Education Advice from New Zealand's Ministry of Education. Aren't we lucky? They're going to cover 4 topics and I'm going to teach you about them. Consent, digital technology in the wonderful world of the internet, healthy relationships, and to finish off the day, my favourite, pornography. We're going to start with consent, non-boys and non-girls. Yes, and consent doesn't just mean saying yes, it means not saying no. The Blue Chair Studio group have a video out about consent and a cup of tea, right? And it talks about consent being asking someone for a cup of tea. Now already, non-boys and non-girls, already, they're not even mentioning coffee, or orange juice, or water. So that sounds a little phobic to me straight away. Don't be like Brock Turner. He got caught. You can be like the Roastbusters because they got caught but nothing happened.
Ko mahu e te wākina pirihimana kia hāmenetia Mariah Hales, rawa ko Joseph Parker, he mohiotiana ko Roastbusters.
They failed to undertake adequate follow-up inquiries and pursue positive lines of inquiry. And in that respect, they breached police policy.
So, there's all these grey areas that we can explore. Well, oh, what's that, Genderella? You're changing your pronouns again. Oh, wait there. Oh, look, everybody. Genderella is changing her pronouns. So I've got the special gingerbread cake here. Look, I've made a cake for Genderella, or indeed anyone that wants to come out with their pronouns. You'll see there's 2 big candles, yes? And they're for the 2 main genders that people seem to want to be, which is non-boys and non-girls. And all the other candles are for all the other made-up special identities that people are pretending to be. So we'll do that at morning tea time. How exciting! Yes, Jeremy? Consent? Yes, that means not saying no. So if somebody's silent on the matter, could be a yes. And remember, just remember, everybody, that duct tape turns no into Now let's have our morning tea with the gingerbread cake. We can all celebrate Genderella's new made-up identity. Wasn't that a lovely piece of cake we all pretended to eat? Just like gender identities. Anyway, I'm back with part 2, non-boys and non-girls. Here's my heart-shaped glasses. Just to let you know, we saw what the Ministry of Education did there. The wonderful world of digital technology and the internet. Well, aren't we lucky? Everybody on the internet says who they are. Believe them. They're not trying to hide. They're not pretending. No. They're not middle-aged fetishists or predators or anyone with an agenda, non-boys and non-girls.
During COVID lockdowns, police around the world have reported a massive rise in the number of people viewing and sharing child sexual abuse images online.
There are parental controls, but we know how to get around them, don't we?
What do parents in Europe and Britain and Australia need to understand about the nature of this sort of material?
The notion that my child is safe, my child is at home, my child's up in their bedroom. We need to debunk that myth, and we need to understand that what live streaming, video cameras, cameras on computers, cameras on phones, live chat rooms, live broadcasting capability has now just taken away the front door completely and has afforded people access to every child anywhere in the world unless the appropriate safeguards and security mechanisms are in place.
It's important to have as many sock accounts as you need to hide things. The way we're allowed to hide your new identity from your parents. We are encouraged and suggested, it's even recommended on the Ministry of Education website, that if you want to pretend to be somebody else at school, we can help you. Anyone that argues with you or disagrees or has a different point of view or even thinks a little bit differently is Hitler.
People used to say a lot of nasty things about me. Oh, this guy's a lunatic. Oh, look at that psycho. He's going to get us all killed.
So yes, it's important to get all your friends online. If somebody disagrees with you, okay, block and report them. Block, block, block. Report, stay in your bubble, stay in the hug box. You're valid.
Today, if you are not careful, one wrong word or move could get you canceled. Merriam-Webster defines cancel culture as the practice or tendency of engaging in mass canceling as a way of disapproval and exerting social pressure. In other words, booted from success.
What a day. What a day we're having. The Ministry of Education of New Zealand has given me permission to open up a dialogue with you about healthy relationships. You don't just have to have a birthing partner and a gizmonaut at home. There are many ways that you can. Yes, you can have another person in there. It's really important to use the correct pronouns and the preferred pronouns of the person that you're with, or people, however many you want in your poly-rainbow family.
If you want to control people's thoughts, begin by controlling their words.
They've saved the best for last, non-boys and non-girls. It's my favourite. Pornography. Now, people say there are some people out there that say pornography is filmed rape. There are lots and lots of women and children who would just jump at the chance to be smuggled across state lines and forced into abject sexual servitude is what they say it is, but they get paid. Don't you forget, they get paid. Good money. Well, quite good money. They get paid money.
Videos of kids, and by kids I mean prepubescent, visibly prepubescent, and they make the distinction because of the internet and there's so much content. These pedophiles are desensitized. Because of that, the kids are getting younger, and the content is getting that much more devastating. So when this law enforcement officer told me this, I asked him how young are the young kids he's seeing, and he told me infants. And I have a 6-month-old baby. So I said, what does that mean? You know, like what does an infant mean? And he said, with the umbilical cord still attached.
They have been paid. And consent means yes, but it also means not saying no. So as I say, this whole grey area just opens right up the way some legs do on pornography. On films, but they aren't real.
What do you think about porn damaging young people and, in a way, setting unrealistic sex standards and expectations for them?
It's really important for young people to understand that we're shooting fiction.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody ever gets hurt. That's the magic of Hollywood.
Towards the end of my time in porn was one of my most viewed scenes. I actually came in as more of a stand-in because they had an original guy doing my part for that scene, but that scene was so rough that it incited an epileptic seizure within him that he had to be rushed to the hospital. So I came in to take his spot, and you know, at first I didn't know what I was getting into. But I signed the consent forms, I signed all the stuff, saying it was okay because I needed to get paid. And then on the porn set, I was bound, gagged, and raped. I was in a rape scene. And after that scene, I went home and I tried to kill myself.
And the Ministry of Education of New Zealand has given me permission to open up a dialogue with you about it. I'm not trained. I'm not even a counsellor. I'm barely a teacher. But I'm allowed to talk to you. I'm allowed to talk about pornography with your children. Thank you, Cindy Hardon, first of that name. Long may she reign. Be kind.
I wish to raise a matter this afternoon for the attention of the Minister for Education, and I have to say it is not often in this job. I am absolutely shocked. I thought I'd seen everything, but this one is just beyond words. It is a note from a constituent who says, "Hi Bernie, this is a worksheet that my 10-year-old daughter brought home from school," and it includes a photo of the worksheet. "Part of her homework was to discuss with her father his erections and ejaculation. I find this very disturbing and sickening, as indeed do I have to say. I have complained to the school and was told it was just part of the curriculum. Can you advise who else I should make a complaint to?" Well, I could go on for days who she could complain to. "My daughter still plays with dolls and writes letters to the Tooth Fairy. There is no way any little girl should be told to ask these questions." Well, so say all of us. What the hell is going on in this state when 10-year-old girls are told to go home and talk to your father about his erections and about his ejaculations? What the hell is going on here? How the hell are we supposed to protect our kids when this sort of perversion is in our schools? This is what is being dished up to them on a daily basis in a primary school, not even a secondary school, a primary school. This is just unbelievable. It's staggering. I could not imagine the reaction. I have 3 daughters. I could not imagine the reaction of any of them if they were told to do that. They would be traumatised for life. I don't think they'd ever recover. I'm not sure I'd ever recover. This is just deplorable. This is just deplorable. And it seems to me to be a part of the ongoing war by the Andrews government against children, in particular, in this state. Let kids be kids. A 10-year-old girl should not be exposed to this sort of material. I think it is deplorable. It is deplorable. And I challenge anybody, just ask yourselves here tonight, would you be happy if you had a 10-year-old and she was told to go home to talk to her dad about his ejaculation and his erections? Would you be happy with that? Would you be relaxed about that? Oh, God, I wouldn't be. I'd be horrified. Indeed, we should all be horrified. So I asked the Minister to conduct an urgent investigation to remove this material and ensure that no other child is put in the situation that this poor 10-year-old little girl has been put into at this point.